Good evening. Welcome back to JAFFA Wire. I am Ray, and it is Erev Shabbos, the Sabbath Eve, as we're getting ready to celebrate the day that we talk about peace in the world. So we stop everything we're doing. But I did want to say something about an unfortunate event that happened this week that does impact the Jewish community in a bad way. And that is the arrest of this gentleman in the New York area named Alex Heifler, who attempted to assassinate Palestinian activist Nerdeen Kiswani. He was planning to assassinate her, and thankfully the NYPD and I believe other law enforcement agencies arrested him. And I kind of feel bad because I wish I'd had the chance to deliver a message like this to him that would dissuade him from taking this type of choice. You see, the organization, it's not an organization, it's really just a newsletter I write. I call it the Jewish Alliance for the First Amendment. That's the keystone of the values I believe in, because I think using the First Amendment helps us avoid greater conflict and figure out problems rather than going to war with each other as Americans. Obviously, we're at war right now as a country, but people ought to have opinions about it, if they're against it or they're for it, as long as your goal is to minimize the harm to other people and to make the world a safer place. I'll respect you, but I'm not going to respect people who don't think that the rights come with responsibilities. And much of what I've written about in JAFFA Wire is the violence of the pro-Palestine movement. And I've made a point of saying that I believe they have the right to say anything within the bounds of free speech, as long as they're not inciting violence, as long as they're not defaming people or harassing them or scamming them. They have the same rights as I do. It doesn't matter if they are Palestinian Americans or if they're just supporters of them. I've supported their rights. But the drumbeat of violence from people on that side has been a constant source of material for me to point out what's wrong with their movement. And indeed, it's been, 2.5 years, and where have they gotten? Nowhere. They haven't helped a single Palestinian that way. And their movement is basically either a caricature of itself or, unfortunately, some dangerous subculture in America. And the reason I want to highlight the Alex Heifler case is because I don't want to see the same mistakes made by Jewish Americans, okay? So just as it was wrong, it's wrong on principle to try to harm another person, another American, or anybody else based on their political beliefs or their background or affiliation. It's wrong. It's illegal. I mean, shouldn't that be enough? It's also terrible strategy. And it is one of the reasons I believe that the pro-Palestine movement has been, all the successes they've had are for naught, because a lot of people do identify them with violence and extremism. And so for Jewish Americans who are looking at that type of behavior and saying we ought to do the same thing because what goes around comes around, it doesn't really work that way, because as I've tried to say over and over again, the violence of the Middle East can't be stopped by importing it here to the United States. So just have a happy, peaceful Shabbos or Shabbat, whatever you want to call it, Sabbath, Saturday. Watch. If you're not Jewish, you can have a great day. If you are Jewish, spend time with your family. And, if you see people like this in your life who are turning towards extremism, try to turn them away from it, because a lot of lives can be ruined.